The other day, I said, let me explain something to y'all. If something happened to me and mama, I want you all to understand, y'all gonna be around the casket crying because I'm not leaving you everything. I'm just not. I'm gonna spend 85% of my income on me and your mama.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna leave about 5-10%. That's it. The rest of the money, me and your mama going somewhere. We can, Dad, we can't go on vacation. No, I want to be just with your mother.
Well, here's
It's
the
cool.
thing that people don't understand about children. It is not what you leave to them that makes them great. It's what you leave in them. And if you leave enough in them, you don't have to worry about what you leave to them. If you leave more to them than you leave in them, they will run through everything you left to them.
Yeah.
But if you leave enough in them, you don't have to leave so much to them because they can go out there and make their own way in life.
Cool. I'm glad you said that, because now they ain't getting nothing. I told my kids the other day.
I'm weak. Round of applause to TD, Bishop TD Jackson and Uncle Steve Harvey. Round of applause for the game.
Oh, yes.
What's good? YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to. What's good, listening? It's your boy.
What up?
Long Live Motion, a.k.a. King Motion. I hear my cousin.
Oscar.
And we are at another You Good Digital podcast. We in here, cousin.
We
deep.
Here.
We
Yes.
deep.
Yes.
And I know you just heard what just happened. You sent me this video actually offline.
I did.
And I want to know what your thoughts on. Actually, before we even get started, we got a sponsor today. Actually,
We got a sponsor?
We got a sponsor today.
Who's the sponsor?
Shout out to LINEOUT watches. Yeah, I'm talking about. As you see him, if you watch it from YouTube, you'll see him in the front. My guy Jamal Smith with hella F's. Shout out to the guy.
Shout out.
He made sure we was laced up with these watches. You know what I'm talking about? He got watches for men and women, luxury, black-owned, affordable watches. Make sure you tap in with him at LineOut. You can follow him on Instagram. Let me see. LineOut. You can follow him on the. Let me see. You can see his website. Let me see. Let me get his website real quick. Hold on.
Get the website.
Let me get the website real quick.
Website.
LineOutWatches.com. And you can follow him on Instagram at LineOutWatches. Make sure you tap in with my guy. He has a dope story. He's a good dude.
Hella dope.
Fire luxury watches. As you can see, I got 4 up here, but I really got 5. Well, as you see 3 right there, I got 1 right here, and another one. Yeah, I'm talking about. You dig what I'm saying? My guy, he got them watches. He got me into to wearing watches, so I want y'all to check him out, and that's going to be today's sponsor. Shout out to LineOut Watches and my guy, Jamal Smith. So, Cuddy,
what's going on?
let's get to the show.
Let's get to it.
What about that passage? Because you sent it to me, and I feel like
did.
you sent that to me for a reason.
I did.
I want to know how you feel about what they said about, because it's to me it just seems like it's about generational wealth and them not leaving their kids stuff because whatever reason. But go ahead, tackle that for me. Let me see.
Shouts out to my cousin for understanding where I was going with that about
Yes, sir.
about generational wealth. So I don't 100% disagree. I definitely don't 100% agree.
Right.
Right. So the points I do agree with, TJ says you got to leave more in them than you leave for them.
Right.
Because if they don't have in them, then they'll run through whatever you leave for them. But Uncle Steve, man, I love your movies.
Okay.
I
see where you going.
I love just about almost everything you do,
Right.
except those statements right there. It's like in the black community, we, without going down our whole history, because we all know the history of black people in America.
Right.
But the only way to build generational wealth is if you pass wealth from generation to generation.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So it's like, I think the point of the whole video was you got to raise strong men and strong women and strong people so they could go out and know how to get to the water. They can know how to get to the money. They can know how to be successful. They can know how to do their own thing. That's what the purpose of this video was. But I think that could be lost in translation.
Right.
If you think about, I'm not leaving my kids nothing. It's like, so why they got to start from zero? Why they gotta start from zero?
Right, and I was gonna say the same thing. I thought you was gonna have a different opinion. I thought you was gonna agree with him. I agree with Bishop T.D. Jakes when he said you want to install. Basically, you want to teach your kids how to fish and not just
Right.
feed them the fish. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I understood that lesson, but like you said, I don't agree with Steve Harvey on that because the whole point is to keep the generational wealth and to keep your grandkids or great grandkids going. Because Shaq said the same thing, and I disagree with him on that as well. Like my this money is not my kids' money; it's my money. But it's like you should want to create an empire to where your great grandchildren know who they eating from what you built, and that's what a lot of Caucasian people do, and that's what a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
They leave estates for their kids just in case they don't. You
So
know
they
what I'm
can get
saying?
started. So they have something to get started with.
So they can get started and they can have something to build off of and not just, you know what I'm saying, start from ground zero. Because if everybody keeps starting from ground zero, where we gonna go? You know what I'm saying? Because then everybody else will have a head start ahead of us, and then we're going to be complaining about
Right.
institutional racism, systemic racism. We're going to be complaining about that when we have the people that are in power right now to change that with their generational wealth. If they pass it down and do it the right way.
So the only thing I will say, Shaq, slightly different. He said, to get any of my cheese, you got to have 2 degrees.
Oh, he did say that.
So
did
like
say that.
I like Shaq's approach in the sense of, yo, you got to earn this generational wealth. I'm not just gonna hand it to you. And I think that reinforces what TD Jakes said, saying you got to leave the right stuff in your kids so they know what they doing.
Right.
So like Shaq, I could agree with that because it's like, yo, you got to earn this. Like,
I can agree with that too.
but like Steve, bruh.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I mean, I get it. Spend your money. You know what I'm saying? Spend your money on yourself. But it's like, why would you not want to set your kids up for success? You know, I get it. You probably are setting them up for success right now. You know, you're probably using his resources and pulling strings so they can be successful in their own merit and their own right.
Right.
But at the same time, you still want to have that because a portion of what you got and what they make is more than what they make or what you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should be able to win and everybody should be able to be, everybody should be able to contribute to the wealth of the family.
Right.
So I highly don't. I mean, I agree with certain parts of it, but I really don't. And that's crazy how we the only ones that think like that. You know
I want y'all to mark this day, the day my cousin and I fully agreed on something.
I mean, we fully agree on a lot of shit.
I don't know. Look, I wish we had the new sound effects. Yo,
pause.
pause.
What we get into? What's on the board for today? We're gonna give y'all a great show. We gonna have the listeners.
So
going
talking
crazy.
about Steve.
Hold on, can I get my shit off? Can I talk to the listeners? Cause they listening to us, and I want to make sure they get a good show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Have fun.
We really gonna give them.
I'm gonna look over here.
We really gonna give them that shit today. You know what I'm saying? We give them that shit all the time, right? we really give them that shit all the time.
Yeah, today gonna be special.
Today definitely gonna be special. We gonna get into it, especially because I'm in the zone right now.
In the zone.
I'm in my fucking bag right now.
I have no idea.
Right. Anyways, but what's on the board for today? Let's have this conversation. Where we gonna go? Fake spirituality.
We could go there.
Yeah, we can't be pausing. We can't have the people waiting on us. Fake. We can go there. So, a friend of mine was like, "Y'all should talk about fake spirituality and how it's presented online." And it was very vague when she said it.
Okay.
So I want to ask you, what is fake spirituality to you? Like, what do you? I'm gonna just leave it there. What is fake spirituality to you?
I think it's something where someone just kind of does something just to do it, right? Or does something for the views and the likes, and it's not something that they live in. Like someone that's spiritual, they may present it online because it's a part of their lives, but I don't think they make it a purpose of, oh, look what I'm doing. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Right.
It's just, all right, if they're sharing their lives with you, it'll be something they share within their lives. I don't think it has to be something worn on your sleeve in a way that you're just trying to get views and likes and
Right.
things of that nature. So like I think sometimes people online could just be faking.
I and I would agree with that. I feel like there's a lot of and I feel like there's a lot of spiritual people.
Right.
And it's that that whole the universe and leave with the spirits and and this and that, this and that. And I'm just like, dog, you don't really believe that because your life, I know you in real life, and your life is not a reflection of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot. Some people thought I was, when I converted to Islam, they were saying that I was just doing it because it was a hype, and I was like, you know.
Right.
Like you don't know what I went through. You don't know what I've seen and what like I said, what I've been through for me to even convert. Like I didn't just convert overnight. That wasn't something that wasn't a thing
Right.
that I just woke up one morning and was like, oh, I'm about to convert to a Muslim. Nah, nigga, like that was in the process for years, and it took a lot out of me because I was raised in a Christian home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I had to really fight not only my demons, but the demons that's
In your family.
in my family.
How I knew it was real for you is how you told me. It was a very matter of factly type way. You were just telling me about your life. You didn't make it like, oh cousin, guess what I did, blah blah. And that's what I think is fake about spirituality. When people like, it's one thing to be a witness or to display your religion and to be a beacon to others.
Right.
It's another thing to throw it in and slam it in people's faces and like, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing, look what I'm.
Right.
No one cares.
Right.
And how you told, like you didn't even say, hey cousin, I'm a Muslim now. You were just like, hey, so I'm doing this whatever and Allah, and I was like, okay, so what's up with that?
Right.
You're like, oh yeah, I converted this, and you kind of told me and gave me your story and everything.
Right.
And I think it's when someone really believes something deep down, you can tell because they have a calm and collective assertiveness about them.
Right. Understood. And in the process of me converting, because I didn't put it when I first converted, I didn't put it online. Like it was some things that I would say I was insecure about because I wasn't knowledgeable about the religion. I'm still not as knowledgeable as I want to be.
Right.
It's going to be a process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I put it online because I felt good about it. I was excited about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was something that I treasured, and I am one of those influencers, I guess you could say. And I do post stuff online, but it wasn't to like put it in people's faces, so I don't want people to get misconstrued with that. It was more of a sense that I'm sharing what makes me happy with y'all, like I've been doing the whole time I've been on social media.
Right.
Whether it be dance videos, my clothing brand,
Right.
you know, my baby girl that's about to be born, you know, my religion preferences and my spirituality, my connection with Allah, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the things that I'm excited about. It has nothing to do with anybody that's if you watch me, you just watch me.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what you doing. Like I'm not here to please you. If you watch me, okay, thank you. But you know what I'm saying? but you know, I'm never here to try to impress anybody or to try to be cool about, you know, being Muslim, because that's not even what it's about. You know, I told you before, like I found peace in Islam. You
Yeah.
know, I couldn't wait to do Ramadan, which I'm still in. And you know, it's hard. Oh Jesus, it's hard.
Yeah, I usually just come over like a steak dinner and eat it in front of them.
No, you don't. He lying.
I'm gonna do it next week.
You gonna do it next week?
Yeah.
Well, luckily for me, it's gonna be over next week. So yeah, I'll talk to you then. It's been almost Friday. It'd have been a month, Cuddy.
I know. So I got you next year. I'm gonna steak dinners.
steak dinners every night during Ramadan. You know what I'm
No,
talking
no,
about?
every day.
Oh, my bad.
Every day. I'm gonna come at like right around like lunchtime to like
This
1
nigga.
p.m.
This nigga, and I'm gonna sit there. But by next year, I'm gonna be like, go ahead, do your thing. You know, so but yeah, I believe people do. Like I said, when it come to like calling someone like with they fake spirituality, I just look at their lives.
Yeah,
You know, and
that's the best way to know.
what they do all outside of social media and what the people around them, how it reflects them.
Right.
I don't know if they're telling the truth or not, and that's why I mean, even when I be seeing people like, excuse me, they like I manifested and I did this and I did that, and I'm just like, I need you to go manifest something else. I ain't gonna say it, but I need you to go manifest something else because it's not reflecting in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's not reflecting in your life. So, that online fake spirituality stuff, that's cool. Do you if you feel like you can? If you feel like you trying to gain something from your spirituality being presented on the internet, then I would question it. But if you're posting it out of pure excitement, enjoyment, and appreciation and gratitude,
Right.
it's different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So do what you're gonna do. Either way, you gotta meet your maker and
Yeah,
you gotta deal with that. So
I mean, everybody got different ways they chase that bag. You want to
Right.
be fake spirituality online? Go
right.
ahead, chase your bag however you got to get it. As long as you ain't hurting me or mine or anyone else for that matter. Like,
Right,
that's where I
right.
kind of draw the line when you start hurting other people. Don't start no cults.
Yeah. Don't start no cults because niggas be joining them. Shout out to all the cults out there. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to 7M and all them. All the dancers know what I'm talking about. But anyways,
Oh my God. Took
um,
that too far. That
I
might
heard,
have been my fault.
yeah,
That might have been my
I
fault.
heard this saying.
What's that?
Go where you appreciate it and not tolerate it.
Woo!
What does that mean to you?
Woo! That means if they don't want me there, I ain't gonna be there. That's what that means. If you said I'm canceled, I ain't going.
Right.
I'm going where they invite me.
So basically, that was a callback to the black woman canceling Oscar.
Yes, because I'm very disappointed by the response that has gotten.
What response you get?
None. That's the problem. Like, I sit up here and it say black women cancel me, and they just didn't respond. That just proves the
It
point.
was like, yep,
Yep.
that nigga right.
You're right. You're right. We ain't came and correct them, and we're not going to even validate nothing. But back to the topic at hand. Go where you're appreciated and not tolerated. Like, that's deep. I'm gonna take it maybe a little left.
Take a left in.
I think when people go somewhere where they're only tolerated, it's because they're trying to be something or be around people that they want to like them.
Right.
And I think that it also shows that that person doesn't know who they are.
Oh, elaborate.
So when you go on somewhere and people are only tolerating you, that means you're trying to be a part of something that people don't want you to be a part of. And a lot of times, and this kind of happened with me, sometimes people on the outside can see who you are before you can.
Right.
Because they have a clearer picture in the sense of they see how you're perceived.
Right.
Right. And so sometimes that could kind of give you an idea of who you are. And I'll just use like the acting world, for example. Some people get typecast.
Shit, the industry in general.
Right. Some people get typecast.
Right.
And that's like, okay, if you look like a cop, but you trying to apply for thug roles in the industry, you're not going to get hired.
Right.
But if you look like a cop and you apply for cop roles, you'll get hired.
Right.
Right. So I'm not saying that anyone should accept typecasting in life. What I'm saying is people need to sit down, figure out who they are, and then find your tribe. Don't try to be with no people who don't want you.
Right.
Like, I love Star Trek. I love photography. And I love going out to certain clubs
With your cousin.
with my cousin. And so I just find the people in the spaces that I relate to. Like, if you somebody who loves Star Trek, why you going out trying to hang out with Star Wars fans? That's not going to work. If you're a blurred, why are you trying to go hang out with the cool kids?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, find your tribe. So, like, don't go somewhere where people like, all right, well, you cool, so it's all right if you here, but we ain't really trying to invite you. we just accepting you because someone brought you with them, or we accepting you because I know you from the block and I gotta accept you, right? Like, nah, find your tribe.
You don't think tolerating somebody is like a form of love as well?
It could be a form of love, but like that's not the type of love I want.
Right.
Like, so I think tolerating someone because you love them, that's we family, we blood.
Like you tolerate me?
Yes. That's
you.
that's like that's someone you've been friends with for 16 years and you don't talk to them that often.
Yeah.
But if you do see them on the street, whatever they need, if they call you, whatever they need,
Right.
that's the type of tolerating. But I for someone to be around someone that's tolerating them and trying to constantly be in that person's vicinity in their area, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you want to be around people when they see you coming, their eyes light up.
Right.
It's like, oh man, I can't wait to tell you about this. I can't wait to talk to you about this. I can't wait till we do this. This is the plan for this business we got. This is not
Right.
oh what's up.
Right. And I'm gonna just piggyback off that as I wipe my eyes, because I'm crying on the inside. I've been in many places where I was tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know I was being tolerated until years down the line. You know, and I'm talking about with friendships and stuff like that. I stick to friendships. I was being tolerated. And I was questioning, I started to question myself, like, what am I not doing?
Right.
Or why do I feel like this around them? Or why do I feel like I don't know, I just feel like, I feel like their energy is off. And I started gaslighting myself like, nah, they wouldn't be saying that about me. Nah, they couldn't be doing that about me.
But they
Nah, I've been so loyal to them. I don't know why. Woo, this and that. And then
all you heard on the inside.
right. And then one of my homegirls dropped something crazy on me. We was talking about like me living in LA, and I'm like, I'm about to move out of LA. And she said something amazing. Shout out to my homegirl Lives, you know what I'm saying, all the way from Manchester. She said, when you've outgrown something or you shouldn't be around something, God or the universe will make it so you're uncomfortable. She said, God or the universe, whatever you believe, will make it so
uncomfortable.
that you're uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat back, it dawned on me like, no wonder I'm uncomfortable around these people. No wonder I get anxiety around when I'm in certain areas. No wonder that I can't sit still around certain people or certain things or certain activities. No wonder I can't, because I outgrew it. Because I wasn't appreciated there.
Right.
Because I wasn't celebrated there. Because the love was probably conditional. Because there's so many reasons that I could name. You know what I'm saying? That the reasons why I shouldn't have been there, but the reason why I felt the way I felt when I was around those people or in that vicinity. You know what I'm saying? So when she said that and I started reflecting and doing some introspective work, I started slowly cutting myself away from people. You know what I'm saying? And I prayed to Allah about the situation. And then when I couldn't cut myself off from them, He made it so they cut themselves off from me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, now I go where I'm celebrated. If I don't feel like I'm loved, I don't care where it's at. If I don't feel like I'm loved,
Don't go.
I'm not gonna stay there. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
I'm not gonna stay there though. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do my ooh-wop thing and get on up out of there real quick. You dig what I'm talking about?
Go hit him with that skippity pat.
Hit him with that skip to my Lulu. You know what I'm saying? Because as people, I feel like one thing we do want to be is loved.
Absolutely. 100%.
Especially from the people that we love and we care about. You know what I'm saying? We do want to feel appreciated. We do want to feel loved, and we should all experience that feeling, especially from people that we pull in close to in our circle.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that leads me, and I don't know if you want to jump into it, but that leads to the next one. Like, is love really unconditional?
Hell nah.
Talk to me. Why not?
I mean, so I think there are certain situations and certain relationships where love can be unconditional. Primarily, in most situations, a parent and a child.
Yeah.
Like a parent and a child are a parent, and it doesn't ever always have to be a biological parent either. I think it could be just a parent and a child, and like a parent figure and a child, or that mentor mentee. I think those relationships can be unconditional. But I think
Time out,
most
time out, time. Let's go back.
okay,
I think we jumping the gun.
all right.
What is unconditional?
I think unconditional love, in my mind, how I see it, is you love that person or that thing or whatever you love with no conditions, as in the sense of it doesn't matter what that person does, it doesn't matter what they look like, it doesn't matter whatever they do.
Do you want the
You're gonna love
definition of unconditional, or you?
Yeah, give me the definition, the dictionary
All right, the
definition.
dictionary definition. Not subject to any conditions.
Dictionary definitions don't help.
Right. I was basically trying to get a dictionary definition just so we on the same page. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, unconditional, unconditioned, absolute, unqualified. Those are simple.
What's condition mean?
Let me see. Let's look up condition for the one time.
Yeah, we do stuff like this. So, I think most communication breaks down because people don't have
Solid definitions of what we talking about.
they don't have mutual definitions. I call it something else. In my blog post I wrote that I never posted.
Put it on the You Good Digital.
On the You Good Digital?
Yeah, put it up there.
Okay.
So we got a condition, a premise upon which the fulfillment of an agreement depends.
All right. That helps.
Convenient. A provision making the effect of a legal instrument contingent upon an uncertain event. Something essential to the appearance or occurrence of something else. A prerequisite. An
All right.
environmental requirement.
I like the prerequisite one.
Yeah.
There's no prerequisites. You don't have to do anything to get this love.
Okay. So that's unconditional.
Unconditional.
Yeah.
Right.
So going back to what you said unconditional what?
I think unconditional love can exist just in specific situations, right? I think the best situation, and not always, but a parent and a child, right?
Right.
I've witnessed that. I don't have any biological kids, but I had I was dating a young lady. She had a daughter. I love her daughter like she was my own. They like would do anything for her.
Stepdaddy of the year.
I just died on the inside. I died on the inside. Like, look, watch y'all. I died on the inside.
Look at it.
But yeah, I think in that type of relationship, I think, and I strongly believe, if somebody in a relationship with a significant other think it's going to be unconditional, they have lost their ever-loving mind.
I was just going to say that there's no such thing as unconditional love.
I think in some situations it can be like that parent and
Like
child.
what?
The parent and child.
I don't even think that's unconditional love as well.
I
I think there's a stipulation.
What's the stipulation?
Oh, did I break that? No, I didn't. The way the child makes the parent feel is why the parent, to me, and I could be possibly wrong, to me, why the parent loves the child so much.
I don't know if I could agree with that because, like, I didn't see some parents that get beat up by their kids and they still love them. And I just like.
But that's still because the child probably feels a void that they have in their own self when it comes to love. Because I've seen a lot of people say that these kids changed my life or my kid changed my life. I just heard my father say that on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like you changed my life, having you. Woo. But
See, you backing me in the corner with this conversation.
Absolutely.
Because here's my thing. And I can't be 100% sure about this because I don't have any kids.
Right.
I'm not about to have any kids.
Right.
But if a person is secure and really knows who they are and has done the work on the inside,
right,
I think a child will be a big influence on their life,
Right.
but might not necessarily change their life. And I mean in the sense of where it's like, oh, this is just so life changing that my world is rocked, right?
And even when it comes to just out of like parent, you know what I'm saying, parent children, I think relationships are reciprocated. You know,
Yeah, they're
love
reciprocal.
when you love somebody, it's because they make you feel a certain way.
Right.
They make you feel more vibrant. They make you
Right.
feel more alive than what you probably already was. So that's the condition of your love for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I know relationships have conditional
It's a
love.
it's a feeling that, you know what I'm saying, like even with dogs and animals and pets, they say dogs are unconditional love, but I think the love has a condition because you feed them, you house them, you take care of them, you love them. They're going to treat you accordingly.
Right.
I've seen the way some people have dogs, they treat them like shit, and they react accordingly. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Right.
listen. They peeing everywhere. They biting people. They,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I think there's always, and I could be wrong. I could be going off thinking somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but there's always a condition when it comes to love for me, and whether it's like big, small, or because I think when people say unconditional love, they think like you have to do like they have to like it's a conscious effort to say you have to do this for me so I love you. But like no, that unconscious thing in your mind is telling your body and your soul like that whatever that this person or this thing is feeding you, that's the reason why you love them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to I don't want to go too deep on the situation because I'm not like a psychologist or any type of ologist on it. But
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
we not about to try to spit Freudian theory like the ego and the id and all that. We ain't trying to spit all that.
Right.
But if one of y'all out there in YouTube land, podcast land, you good digital follower land can correct us
Right.
or bring a counterpoint of why love is unconditional, I would love to hear it. Maybe you call in on the next episode or something because we could put you on. We could phone a friend.
We can phone a friend now. You know what I'm saying?
We'll phone a friend.
Matter of fact,
You gonna phone a friend?
I think I'm gonna phone a friend right
gonna phone a
now.
friend?
Let me see.
All right, here we go.
Let me see. Let me see.
Who you got? Who you got for this one? And make sure you put that disclosure. Like as soon as they pick up,
Yeah.
you on live.
I ain't gonna do it like that. Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. Let me see. Let me call. I'm gonna call M. I'm gonna see if she probably not, but
Here we go.
she probably
Think
not.
so? She gonna pick
She
up.
probably not up.
Shit.
She burping on the mic, nigga. Get your big
Ah.
your big your digestive system off the mic.
Hello?
You sleep?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you up. Love you. Good night.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't like nigga.
That sounds like some unconditional love right there.
That's my dog. Stop playing.
That's why it's unconditional.
Let me call Dez. Let me see.
These phone of friends be hilarious.
Your call has been
Oh, she got her phone on do not disturb. I gotta
You
call.
can just call right back and it'll go.
Yeah, I got.
iPhone trick. iPhone hack. Call right back.
Hello.
I've been thinking about you.
Don't say nothing crazy. We on the we are live on the podcast. I gotta ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I've been thinking about you." I hope in a good way, goddamn right.
She said we live on the podcast. It
You
went.
was supposed to get on Warzone with me. Where the fuck was you at?
Oh damn, you right. She about to get on my head.
Forgot about my depressed ass, huh? Nah, what's up though?
Okay. Let me ask you a quick question. You live on the air? You on talking about? We're not live, but we on this motherfucker.
You on the podcast?
You on the pod now?
Oh, what? Thank you for the honor. What's up?
She's like, get to the point.
Is love really unconditional?
Is love unconditional?
Yeah.
I think it's circumstantial.
Oh, elaborate for me, please, baby.
I think with certain people that people choose to love unconditionally, yes, it can be unconditional.
Okay, so a relationship. What about okay? Generally speaking, can a relationship have unconditional love?
It can,
Why?
because some people are not willing to choose themselves over what they think that they need and what they became codependent on.
Mm.
Ooh.
Shout out to Desi,
Oh,
baby.
very nice.
What about parents? What about
What about what?
parents and kids? You think that love can be unconditional?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hold on,
Oh,
let me turn the video game on.
this nigga. Cause I
Hear
was
the shooting in the background.
right. Cause I was sitting here telling my cousin Oscar like I think all love is conditional. I think love has a condition to it, and the reason why I say that is because you love somebody because of how they make you feel subconsciously.
Yes.
Like they make you feel a certain way, whether are 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 you changing your loadout in the back? What's going on?
No.
um,
I turned the game off.
oh, the way a person may make you feel is the reason why you love them. And
Yes.
I even say that with parents. Like they see their child and they instantly gravitate to this child, but it's because whatever that emotion they feel for this child is making them, is pulling them to it, and it's making them
Yeah,
love them. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think when it comes to parents and children, I think that the love comes a place from a place of like this is an extension of me. This is
Okay.
my legacy.
Okay.
So how can I not pour into this thing that is basically a part of me?
Right.
No matter the mistakes they make, um, parents face a lot of hardships other than, parents they like to take all the glory in for their children's accomplishments, right?
Right. Right.
Oh
And
yes, I
then
know that.
Right. Right.
when their children start to disappoint them, then they take on the bearer of failure,
Hmm.
or in some cases, they kind of just write off the child like, "What did I do wrong with you?" Or "That was out of my hands. There was nothing I could do about you."
Right.
So yeah, I guess you're right. It is conditional because your parents gonna act a different way if
Don't
they think you
don't
fucking up.
backtrack. Don't backtrack, Desi. Don't
Your
backtrack.
parents they gonna act a different way if they think you fucking up for sure. But there's some amazing parents out there at the same time that
Yeah.
would try to pour into their children when they know they're struggling.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cause I like I said, cause I just think everything. I just think everything is almost conditional subconsciously.
I'm firmly entrenched.
Absolutely.
I'm firmly entrenched that parent and child relationship can be unconditional. I'm firmly entrenched in that belief. I don't know why, it just feels right.
I think any relationship can be unconditional, but majority of parent and child relationships are unconditional. Or
Uh,
at least that's what people hope for.
I can agree with what Desi said. I think majority of relationships in general are conditional, but I do think people can love unconditionally. Um, Cause you could tell you could tell somebody I love you, but I don't even know the reason why I do.
And then also, what are conditions? Some people confuse boundaries
Ooh,
for conditions.
ooh, now you
Because I'm
talking.
setting boundaries doesn't mean that I love you any
Now
less.
you podding. She
Hmm.
podding right now.
We got a host? No.
We
A guest star?
got a guest. We got a star on the rise right now. She
Yeah, I'm
podding.
passionate about topics, talking about life shit for real. I'm passionate about shit like this.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's why I
okay.
fuck with my dog. She go
All right,
crazy.
all right.
All right, cool. I'm gonna call you right back. We gonna finish this pod. I might actually call you on the next one. Just have your phone next to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feature.
Of course. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yes,
Dad. She
yes,
was
yes. That was good. That was
that.
good. I liked
You
it.
know what's crazy?
What?
I met her on the game.
Yeah,
I met her on Xbox,
yeah. That's
and
hilarious.
that's my dog.
That's
And we
dope.
be playing all the time. It's good to it's cool to actually play with women and not just men. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even though that's my time to get away from women.
I love
You
women.
know what I'm saying? But it's good. It's refreshing to hear a young lady. You know what I'm talking about?
I love women.
This nigga. Don't touch my switcher no more. Don't touch my switcher no more. Don't touch my switcher no more. Don't you say what's that? Don't touch my mama and don't touch my Doritos. You ever seen that? This nigga just be touching shit. Anyways, so I feel like it can go hand in hand, but I genuinely feel like a lot of love comes with conditions. Because how I know is because I've heard people say I fell out of love.
Look, relationship love, absolutely. Conditions, 100%. I'm saying in a lot of circumstances that the parent child relationship can be unconditional. I'm firmly entrenched in that.
All right, I'll give you that.
And I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying it can happen.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Cuddy. I'll give you. I'll give you that 100%.
Oh, look, we ain't got to agree.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like I'm backing what you just said. I'm like, yeah, but I still on the relationship.
The relationship one, nah, that crazy.
So speaking of child, parent relationship, parent child, unconditional love.
Let's get to it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get to it.
Childhood trauma.
Ooh, ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, yeah.
Wait, childhood. And here we have it now. Childhood trauma. Again, we got our sponsor today, LINEOUT Watches. Make sure you check them out on LINEOUTWatches.com. You can also follow them on Instagram, LINEOUT Watches. You dig what I'm saying? So childhood trauma.
Yeah, let's get with it.
Childhood trauma. The question I wrote down on the board that I got in my hand, what parents expose their kids to and how it affects them. Let me ask you this first question, Cuddy.
All right.
What age do you think trauma starts?
As soon as they come out.
Right out the womb?
I think it could be right out the womb because you spoke earlier on subconscious, right?
Right.
So I think, and I don't have any scientific research to back this up.
Right.
But like people remember feelings and actions and everything.
Right.
And so when you come out as a baby, if someone raises their hand at you, you don't know to flinch. But as a baby, if you get hit 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, next time somebody raises their hand at you, you're going to flinch. Even though this baby may not know how to talk, may not know how to walk or anything, that behavior that's exhibited towards that baby, whether it's good or bad,
right,
can will build responses from that baby. So that trauma could start as soon as they come out and be through the rest of their life.
So, parentmap.com, citing my source.
Okay.
Extreme stress experienced between ages of 5 and 8 poses a high risk of poor adult mental health, according to the new study of the U.S. brain scans conducted by Duke University. Such adults typically show less brain activity in parts of their brain linked to motivation, positive moods, and depression. So, Parent Map says a lot of trauma can begin within 5 and 8. And then there was another one that said, look through theireyes.org. It says children can experience trauma as early as infancy, like you just said. In fact, young children between the ages of 0 and 5 are the most vulnerable to the effects of trauma since their brains are still in early formative years.
Well, thank you for backing me up, science.
I also believe that. I also believe trauma... Wrong. I also believe trauma can start as early as when that baby first understands what experiences emotions. Like you flinch at a baby and they jump. I believe the trauma starts there.
Yep, absolutely.
That's just an example I can give off the top of my head right now. Or when a baby, then when you flick them and their reaction is pain. You know what I'm saying? They cry.
Right.
That's when trauma starts because now they're feeling what is going on around them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Loud noises when they, like I said, they jump. Their senses get stronger as they develop, and like the article said, between 5 and 8 is a strong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where they start to remember, because I don't think I remember anything before I was 5. Honestly,
yeah, I know I don't.
I don't think I can remember anything before I was 5. So around the time I was 5 and 8 is my prime years, and usually actually, matter of fact, most of my 5 to 8 year old friends, I'm still friends with to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know none of them.
yo,
Look, I don't know none of them.
I don't know none of them niggas. But I believe it starts there. Now, when it comes to parents, do you think they could pass down their trauma to their children?
Absolutely. I think parents do it subconsciously though. And why I say subconsciously, because they'll raise their children. Some parents raise their children exactly how their parents raised them. And if
Right,
they were
right.
raised if if the way they were raised leaves a lot to be desired,
Right.
then that could be a very bad thing,
Yeah.
right? And it could still be not as good. Even if they do better than their parents, that may not mean it's good though.
Right.
Like it's always a poor excuse. Well, when I was growing up, I went through blank.
Right.
But that doesn't mean what you're doing right now with your
It's
kid
right.
is the right thing to do.
Right. Right. Right.
It's like
right.
what's going to be the best thing for my child? What's going to help my child grow and go further? That's the thing they should be doing. That's how you I hate saying avoid, but that's how you avoid childhood trauma. But just saying this is the best I can do, that's an excuse to me, because I think people can always go out, get more information to do a better job. So like,
Look.
oops, I didn't lit a bomb and walked away.
Look, man. I don't even know how far or how deep I want to go into this because
Let the spirit lead you.
if the spirit lead me,
Let the spirit lead you, brother.
parents can pass down childhood trauma.
Yeah.
They usually, like you said, they usually do it indirectly. And it goes back to slavery.
Yeah.
As far as whipping children, whipping their kids so the master wouldn't whip them. You know what I'm saying? Because the master would probably do worse.
Right.
So I'm gonna punish my child so they don't punish my child, and which led on to us, which I believe led on to us still handing out ass whoopings to this day. If I whoop your ass in the house, you won't go out into the world doing nothing crazy.
Right.
Which I believe that goes back to one of our podcasts we talked about, positive and negative reinforcement.
Right.
I believe that is an option. A negative reinforcement can be an option.
Right.
But going back to the topic, trauma is definitely passed down. My mother's mother, my grandmother, passed away before I was born, and I can still see the trauma in my mother. I can still see to this day, and I've never met my grandmother. She passed away before I was born. I can still see the trauma that is affecting my mother. And that trauma is affecting me. Because now I'm afraid for my mother, you know what I'm saying, when she goes on home to God, you know what I'm saying, years from now, you know what I'm saying? Lots of years from now, because she's still young. But I fear that at a young age. You know what I'm saying? I feared that at a very young age. I feared that I don't know, from the time I can remember. And that's just because how she talked about her mother.
Right.
You know, and she passed that trauma down indirectly to me, because now I'm thinking about it, which I should just be thinking about spending the time that I do have with my mother here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cuddy.
Just hey.
I'm trying not to say too much. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it off me personally, and let's just go to street shit. Let's go to street shit. No, you don't want to.
Childhood traumas.
You don't want to go there.
We could go to street stuff, but even before we go there, I think the first article, the first source you cited about what a kids experience from 5 to 8.
5 to 8.
will impact how they are as adults.
Yes.
All right. So my question to those scientists and to you and to the audience out there, y'all want to chime in. At what point does an adult no longer be able to blame their childhood trauma on the decisions that they're making?
Oh, you want to talk about it, huh?
I mean, if
no, I know.
Yeah.
That's that. Oh, you want to talk about it, huh?
yeah, I mean, at what point do you say, like, I get it, people go through trauma and everything, and I will be the first to say that as a person, I was privileged, and especially as a black person, I was privileged with the way I grew up, with the parents I had. I love both my parents. I think they both crazy sometimes, and they did attempt to pass on a little trauma to me, but I rebuke it in the name of whatever God you celebrate. But
It's the same. It's the same God you celebrate.
but my thing is, there are times where I go and say, man, if my parents had it, and I stopped myself dead in my tracks. I was like, Oscar, you are, however old you are, you can't blame your parents no more for what happened to you.
Right.
You got to do the work
Right.
to fix it. So, like, at what point do you think a person can no longer blame whatever they happened in their childhood
Right.
for what they're doing in their adulthood?
I started young though. You know what I'm saying? Cause shout out to the guy, but my father really wasn't the best example. You know what I'm saying? So I had to understand a lot of my traumas came from him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think I maybe was like 14, 15.
Uh-huh.
And that's just me being ahead of the curve. I was always one of them kids that's ahead of the curve. I see things and all right, this ain't working for me. I got to go this way. All right, this ain't working for me. I got to go this way. This ain't working. In general, I just got to go this way. Or I'm not happy with this. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been ahead of the curve. So like I said, it started early, 14, 15 with me. And I realized that a lot of the mistakes that my biological father was making, I didn't want to go down that route.
Right.
You know, and granted, it was hard because those things, those traumas tend to stick with you for a long time. And sometimes you need the circle or you need the people around you to help you, you know what I'm saying, grow out of it and reinforce a positive way of moving about life. But as a grown man, I just feel like, nigga, your child, if I can do it at 14, I have no, I not know, but I really don't feel as bad for somebody that's grown. You know, I would say, to answer your question, because I know I'm speaking in like bullet points because I'm trying to watch what I say. At least, nigga, by the time you're 25, if you understand what's going on in your childhood, you know why you end up doing these things, or you could pinpoint why you react to certain things, or you could pinpoint why you have so much anger towards men, or you have so much anger towards women, or you could pinpoint the day that, you know, you got jumped by, I don't know, 6 niggas at the gas station, so you carry a gun every time you go to the gas station. Like, if you can pinpoint those traumas that you had as a kid, that's when you make an effort then, right then and there, to try to change it.
What if people can't pinpoint it?
Just because you can't pinpoint it, I'm gonna say you know something's there, right? You know whatever trauma you have is there. Just because you can't pinpoint it, cool. I would say work through the trauma as much as possible, even if you can't pinpoint it. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not nothing with a degree.
Go get some of that if you need it.
Right. But I would say if you could pinpoint it, at least make a conscious effort to try to do better or to try to fix whatever it is. Because put it like this, if you can't pinpoint it, I will say this to the people out there. If you can't consciously pinpoint it, whatever triggers you, figure out whatever triggers you and trace it back to if you remember it in your past.
Yeah.
Cause I'll give an example. Growing up, I had a hard time with male authority, and this is because I just used this example already. But I had a hard time with male authority. You know, my stepfather, who's been there my whole entire life, It was hard for him to just say something to me without me being like, nigga, fuck what you talking about. Like, you're not my father. You know what I'm saying? Or teachers, male teachers. Fuck out my face. I'm not listening to I'm talking about like Mr. Vayuso, Mr. San Juan. I remember those teachers, like, they had a hard time with me because I had I had a hard time when it came to my football coaches. I had a hard time when it came to male authority.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had an issue with my father that I didn't address at that time. You get what I'm saying? So when I realized, like, why do I always gotta run into it with males? Like, what's up with this? That's why I like it when I have women around me. I'm comfortable with women around me because my mother was the comfort for me. My grandmother was the comfort for me. I'm comfortable around women. You know what I'm saying? Like when males come around, I'm like, fuck you talking about, nigga. Like, I get overly protective over the women around me as well.
Right.
Because I don't trust you.
Right.
But it stemmed back to, the relationship that I had with my father. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's one of those things to where it's like, me and you don't get along, and if I can't trust the nigga that was supposed to protect me as a young boy all the way up until
I can't trust you.
I can't trust no male figure. I got comfortable with my stepdad because he was my football coach, and that's what helped me to get closer to a lot of my coaches growing up in high school. Like Coach Haynes is another one I look at like a father figure. You know what I'm saying? Every time I pull up to my old high school where I see Coach Haynes, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up? Like I still text Coach Haynes to this day. Shout out to Coach Haynes. So I think my trauma, I noticed my trauma from my triggers, and then I tried to trace it back to whatever age or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that was it's definitely a lot of introspective work to be done. It's not easy, but it's, you know what I'm saying, once you really trace them back, you for surely can.
Ooh,
It's a lot.
that was deep.
Yeah, I was trying to watch what I was saying. I don't want to put too much of my business out there.
Yeah, you was skating around some stuff.
Yeah, shout out to my biological father. Shout out to my stepdad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to all y'all.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Coach Haynes. Who else? What else? Shout out to Tony Czar, another male figure in my life.
Yeah.
Shout out to the guys.
This week, shouting out all these people. Shout out to my dad.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh man, you know what? Only reason why I didn't say Uncle Oscar is because I don't know why I didn't correlate it with like traumas or something because it wasn't a part of the story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For me, like Uncle Oscar been like the guy. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Oscar ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? I call Uncle Oscar literally for anything and everything. Uncle Oscar is literally the GOAT in my eyes.
Well, shout out to my dad, and then also shout out to my mentor, Mr. Withrow. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the guy.
But yeah, but back to these childhood trauma. Do you think we've covered it sufficiently? The childhood trauma? Or?
Nah, because we can sit here and talk about childhood trauma all day. You know what I'm saying? Because seeing your mother get, you know what I'm saying, DV, the domestic violence,
right,
can be childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Somebody touching on you as a young child, childhood trauma. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the last. I've heard recently that there's majority of young women have been touched on by someone close to them.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? By the time they was 16, 17. You know what I'm saying? So that's already a trauma. A lot of women will grow up not trusting men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that involve trauma that we probably won't be able to get to because it's such a
wide topic.
It's a wide topic and it's also touchy. I don't want to be insensitive to the, you know what I'm saying, to the viewers or to the listeners. Like,
so let me ask you this. Let me flip it like this then.
Yeah.
How do you think some of your childhood traumas have shown up in your current day relationships? You already touched on the male figure parts, but just relationships in general, like
what's crazy is like I'm shaking right now just even think about it. Like subconsciously, it's triggering me right now. But I mean, I could talk about it, but like subconsciously, it's like it's a trauma, and it's my body is reacting to it without my mind. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but go ahead.
No, I think.
What was your question? You about to ask me a question?
No, how do you think in other relationships outside your relationship with male authority figures, how do you think some of your childhood traumas have impacted maybe like friendships or romantic relationships?
My childhood, um, childhood traumas is being aggressive. Um, my parents were very aggressive with me. They didn't beat me or nothing like that, but they
Right.
were very aggressive, and my mother disciplined me when it was that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it was that time, and okay, I'll go back to this. I won't even say that because I deserve some of the ass whoopings that I got. Let me go back. The way my parents would speak, or let's just say my mother. Shout out to my mother because I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just me expressing. Me and my mother have a tight relationship.
Yes, they do.
She'd be like, stop crying like a little ass girl as a kid, as a young boy. You know, so I've grown up with that mentality of boys don't cry.
Right.
Suck that shit up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which it helped because you don't want to be no crybaby ass adult.
Right.
But I also wasn't. It also led to me holding on to a lot of things that I should have expressed, which turned into anger and resentment. And it wasn't until I got older I was able enough to communicate it, and then it didn't translate. You know what I'm saying? It was smooth, but my mom like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Well, you a man, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you know she put me out at 17, so it's like I had to grow up fast. You know, like you graduated high school at 17, all right, nigga, figure it out, or stop crying like a little. You know what I'm saying? Stop crying like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Woo, this and that. Like you take those, and I would say it's trauma. Oh my goodness, it's a bittersweet type of thing, because not only did it mold me to be a man, but it also was like, damn, man, like I just wanted to talk to you. Give me time to cry. Give me time to feel these emotions as a young boy.
Right.
So I know how to control them when I get older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like allow me to express how I feel without saying suck it up, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you saying that it's impacted. It sounds like it's impacted your relationship with women because you can't. You've in the past had trouble expressing yourself with them.
Oh man, I've had I was never able to express how I felt. I was the kid who used to be mean to the cute girl the girl I thought was cute, and I used to pick on her because I liked her, because I didn't know how to express how I felt. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I've had I've had horrible relations with women, but somehow they still love me to this day. Shout out to them.
Cause you genuine.
But I ain't shit, okay? Look. I pressed the right button the first time. But I just didn't know how to communicate. And I was like very aggressive with women. Not to say that I've ever put my hands on a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've never done that, but I was very aggressive with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't a romantic type of nigga. I'm like, hey, if I like you, you'll know. Like, nigga, just ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of them, and it translated. Just me not being able to communicate and not being able to express how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It translated into like, just like I said, me not being the man that I wanted to be for them at that time. But you know, it takes time to grow, and I've done a lot of introspective work, and I've learned to be gentler. Is that a word? Gentler?
Yeah.
Softer. I learned to be softer and communicate, especially with the woman that's carrying my child right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned to do a whole, and even in the last year, you've seen me do a whole 360.
Oh, yes, I know.
When it comes to her. You know
I've
what I'm
been
saying?
here.
Like, right. When it comes to her, I'm just like, dawg, like, you know, as a woman that's carrying my child, like, nigga, we're going to lay out the red carpet for you now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now my perspective has changed a little bit. You know, I've learned how to talk to her. Not
Not rough.
I wouldn't say forward, because I'm still forward, but not so rough. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been rough. Like I was football, wrestling, fighting, nigga just rough all his life. You know what I'm saying? Like I never was able to just be like, I appreciate you and I love you for, whatever,
Right.
whoop, this and that. And I finally got to that point as an adult. And after it translated into my life. But what about you? The same question. What about you? How do you feel like your childhood trauma
Has shown
translated?
up in our relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, being very avoidant.
Ooh.
Like just like it's been a situation where I get avoidant when I want the relationship to change, or if I get uncomfortable
Yeah.
and I don't know how to bring that up and express myself and my feelings.
Yeah.
I just avoid the relationship, or I avoid stuff. And that when you're avoidant in a relationship with someone that you're supposed to be romantic with, it don't work.
Right.
And it takes communication. And fortunately, I did a lot of work during the pandemic. I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I read like 20 books.
Yeah.
And then the year after the pandemic, I read another 10. And I'm feeling myself. I have the strong belief in if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. And then
I heard that.
and in that area and all that work I did during the pandemic and after, I feel like I'm not moving forward in it. So I felt some of our relationships starting to be impacted by that trauma again.
Right.
And so it's like I want to be able to continue to communicate well and be honest and forward, but gentle with the delivery and gentle with how I deal with people and handle people.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm gonna change gears a little bit and
Let's do it.
just say, yo, if you out there and you have experienced childhood trauma,
Yeah.
you can work through it. You can make it through it.
Absolutely.
You got 2 examples sitting right here in front of you. You can do it. Now, if you can't do it alone,
Seek help.
Seek help, because that's all right. Yeah, my cousin helps me all the time. I have friends who are therapists, and they be therapying me.
This nigga said.
Therapy.
This nigga said therapy in me.
Like, look, I'm just saying, like for real, like I truly have a good tribe and good people around me that have helped me work through this stuff.
Right.
There's so much information in books. Read a book.
Right.
Like literally, just pick it up and read it.
And let me say something on the opposite side of that, because you said seek help and seek people. Sometimes for me it was just sitting by myself. I avoided and disguised a lot of things with being around people. And as I grew older, I just knew the problem didn't go away. It was still there. Sometimes some of the problems even got bigger. So with this, passing with this Ramadan, I gained a lot more clarity being by myself, cutting things out that I, cutting the vices that I had out, like being on my phone, trying to escape reality. Just sit at home, just sit by yourself and really focus on what you need to focus or whatever you need to get as an adult or as a person, and then go out and seek help. Go find those circles, go find those communities that's going to help you, because there is help out there, and you can, like Oscar said, you can get through those traumas. You can live through them and do better. And once you, like I said earlier, once you find out your triggers, and they become less triggering.
Yeah. Yo, I think this has been a good discussion.
I think this has been enough. Honestly,
exhausted.
I'm mentally drained from talking about this, especially because that conversation I had.
It was bruh.
Prior to coming on, it was a lot.
I want to say this though, like if y'all want to be part of Phone a Friend,
tap in with us.
Hey, DM your number, your name, and everything.
Yeah,
we shoot random times, so you never know when you're gonna get the call.
Right.
So if you want to be part of Phone a Friend.
So yeah, basically, like Oscar said, just send your number in the DMs. Hit us up on the You Good Digital Instagram. Send your number. Send whatever you want us to, whatever question you got for us, whatever scenario you got for us.
Just lay it out.
Whatever you want to just, say to us. Send in the DMs. We'll give you a call. We'll probably shoot you a text before, like let you know. You Good Digital calling you today, so be ready. Whoa. But we want to interact with y'all because we love y'all and y'all been supporting us, and we've been watching the metrics go up, and we
all the way up,
man. Right. we've been at this for a couple months now with no big features, no big budget behind us, just kind of thugging it, guerrilla warfare, having it. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support and everything. And again, before we even end this episode, I want to give another shout out to my guy Jamal Smith. With all the F's, when you see his Instagram, you'll know why I say that. My guy with LINEOUT watches, luxury, affordable watches, black owned. They look great. They feel great. Like it's really something that you're gonna want to tap into. I wasn't a watch guy until I met Jamal. He laced me with one. I caught the rest that I'm like, Brian, I gotta have them now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making a point to get them. So LINEOUT Watches sponsored this episode. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Big shout out to you. Anybody when you want to give a shout out to, Cuddy?
Man, just all the viewers, man. It's been crazy.
It's been crazy.
This has been a crazy ride. Like it feels like we've been doing this for like years.
Right.
It's been like
a couple months.
If you go look back at it, our first podcast on the actual You Good Digital platform
was 2 months ago.
Was 2 months ago, and the followers are coming. People are watching.
Shout out to the city of Sacramento for holding us down, because y'all
absolutely.
Yeah, that's our main demographic right now. So shout out to the city of Sac.
But yeah, I want to hear more from y'all though. Like,
yeah,
hit us up in the comments. Ask these questions.
Oh, let me drop a gem real quick, because with You Good Digital, we always have an undertone of like introspective work, healing, and elevating as a black man, or you know what I'm saying. What's that book that you
Who Moved My Cheese?
Who Moved My Cheese? So my cousin, let me get on me real quick. So my cousin came over to the crib one day. He was like, "Here, I want you to read this." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I want you to read this book." I said, "I'm not a reader." He said, "Read it. It's 90 pages." I said, "All right, I'm read it." I'm not a reader. I read this book in one day. Like literally, I read this book in probably an hour or two. And this book has changed the way I look at life and the way I look at people in my life. You got it, Cuddy? You got the book right here? Let me see. I'm going to put it on you.
Right here. Who Moved My Cheese? Should we do a raffle? Raffle a couple copies of this book off?
If that's what you want to do,
I think I want to do a raffle.
Let's give him an Instagram clip right now. Then let's go ahead.
Wait. So we gotta think about we just came up with this, so we gotta think about what the rules to enter the raffle.
We'll do that offline. Then we'll do that offline and
Yeah.
we'll post it, because I feel like so. Set the premise. Let me, you know what I'm saying. So me and my cousin got a book. We don't have a book, actually. We are holding on to a book. And this book has literally changed my perspective on life and business. And he's read it as well. He gave me a copy. And I think we should raffle off a copy. We should raffle off a copy to one of our viewers and one of our followers, so they can get the knowledge that we gain, and hopefully give us some great feedback on what they said. It's the number one international seller, you know what I'm saying, by Spencer Johnson. You know what I'm talking about? So we want to do a raffle. I don't know what the
We're gonna come at y'all with the rules and how to enter and everything, but we're gonna make sure we want y'all to have this impact.
Cause this right here, this book, man, look.
They didn't even sponsor the episode.
They didn't sponsor the episode, but anyways, we gonna end this episode. Right. It's your boy Long Live Motion. I hear my cousin
Oscar,
and that was another You Good Digital podcast. Make sure you like this video for the algorithm. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the website YouGoodDigital.com, and make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter. All You Good Digital. You ain't gotta look for nothing else, because why? You good when you come to us. You dig what I'm talking about? It's your boy Long Live Motion, and we out this thing.